this. Today, there's actually 2 books, because I've recorded one episode with one book, and now we're having a book again because I found great joy in it today, and therefore I'm also going to do it. I might just fuck myself tomorrow, because tomorrow I might feel like, well, I don't want to do that. But yeah, anyway, it is what it is. We're going to go through a pretty interesting book. By the way, I haven't just said the title from the other book. I haven't even read it. Well, anyway, you're going to see it in the title probably, so who cares? I'm going to see it after the intro. As always. And there is no sound. I'm sorry for that. But yeah, with that being said, hello and welcome back to the next episode of the Self-Development Tactics podcast. I'm really happy to be here, and I'm also really happy to go through this book because Derek Sivers from thesivers.org, where we are also seeing this article, and the link is by the way down in the description, also said that it is a good book. And I mean, he went through over 200 books, I think probably even more, but he summarized, quote unquote, 200 books, 200 plus books. But yeah, the title is Mindwise, How We Understand What Others Think, Believe, Feel and Want by Nicholas Epley, which I do believe is a really, really important topic in general. So the topic of empathy, understanding other people, communication, social skills, emotional intelligence, all those things, I believe they are quite important. I really think so. This episode is also available as a podcast, so if you want to listen to it while you're doing whatever, because I'm just going to read through things and I'm going to talk about those things, and I'm also going to really try hard to read them as well as I can. I'm not that of a great reader, but I can really, really just try. His little summary is, or his little thought is, or thoughts are, many new brilliant insights, especially about overestimating the difference between you and others, thereby separating into us versus them trivialism. Scan to the end of my notes to see. If you know more books like this, please recommend them to me. I adore this subject. And it really indeed is a pretty great subject. And I've seen something that's been really, really interesting. But yeah, we are eventually going to come to that. So yeah. The only true voyage of discovery, the only fountain of eternal youth, would not be to visit strange lands, but to possess other eyes, to behold the universe through the eyes of another, by Marcel Proust, or Proust, whatever. Your brain's greatest skill is its ability to think about the minds of others in order to understand them better. Yes, indeed. More time together did not make the couples any more accurate. Just gave them the illusion that they were more accurate. Indeed. I think indeed. Indeed. We just, there's a lot of illusions that we are getting into, I think, on a daily basis as well. Compared to the mental abilities of other species on this planet, our sixth sense is what truly makes our brain superpowered. The problem is that the confidence we have in this sense far outstrips our actual ability, and the confidence we have in our judgment rarely gives us a good sense of how accurate we actually are. The main goal of this book is to reduce your illusion of insight into the minds of others, both by trying to improve your understanding and by including a greater sense of humility about what you know and what you do not know about others. Because of course, if you just read the small little paragraph there where he says like, okay, we really do often say, okay, this is this person and I am me and we're completely different and all these things. Him saying like, okay, it's not really true, we're really the same often, does also not mean, okay, if I say something, the other person is gonna like that, because if somebody says it to me, then I'm also gonna like that. Not the case. Really not the case. So I think there just has to be like a boundary, there has to be some degree of, okay, yeah, we are kind of the same, but we're also not. So yes. Descartes was so certain about his introspective ability that he stalked his own as well as God's existence on it with his famous "I think, therefore I am." People who imagine seeing an instance of blatant sexism thought they would be outraged. When people actually saw this very same act, however, they felt virtually no rage at all. Do people not know their own minds? ? You're consciously aware of your brain's finished products, conscious attitude, beliefs, intentions, and feelings, but are unaware of the process your brain went through to construct those final products, and you are therefore unable to recognize its mistakes. Because there probably are some mistakes. In each of us, there is another whom we do not know. Quite. If you just think about it, like there is a process and there is something that's going on. Who's doing that? We don't know. Nobody knows. People tended to select attractively enhanced images of themselves, thinking they were more attractive than they actually were. This is why most of the pictures taken of you seem to look so bad. People tend to select attractively enhanced images of themselves. Yeah, indeed. Like these are the things that I'm searching for on a daily basis, quite, and I'm always searching for them, and also for books. And I just truly now recognize why I like them so much, because yes, indeed, it's the case. When you don't know the actual facts about yourself, your consciousness pieces together a compelling story, much in the same way it does when you're trying to read the minds of other people to make sense of why they act as they do. Yes, picks together a compelling story. And the compelling story might also be a negative story because it is compelling to you. Maybe there's something completely different. Who knows? And by the way, if I just think about it, like trying to understand somebody else, like you can be right or you can be wrong. And it is always like 50-50 chance, basically. Of course, you could say, okay, I know this person really well and whatnot, but still, like the probability might be higher that you're accurate, 100% accurate. Let's put it like this. Makes it easier, I guess. But who knows? Not necessarily. Shoppers were first shown 4 pairs of stockings and asked to pick the best. In fact, the stockings were identical. The researchers found that the ordering mattered. Shoppers preferred whichever stocking was on the far right, thereby evaluated last 4 times more often than whichever stocking was on the far left, thereby evaluated first. I see, which means that the first thing we are seeing is never ever the best thing, we at least guess, even though it's the same, quite, which is an interesting thing. Let's see. No psychologist asks people to explain the cause of their own thoughts or behavior anymore unless they are interested in understanding storytelling. That's actually a good one, because indeed, if you see someone hunched over, you will assume that they are not feeling very proud. Find yourself hunching over in the same way, even if only because you're filling out a survey on a table with very short legs, and you may report being less proud of yourself and your accomplishments too. What? Is it now about body language and how it just affects our brain, or is it about seeing other people and just knowing that you don't know everything? An illusion that we know our own minds more deeply. An illusion that we know our own minds more deeply than we actually do has one disturbing consequence. It can make your mind appear superior to the minds of others, which, by the way, is often the case. Like, a lot of people think they are superior to other people, but they're not. Just because you're you and they're them. Unless there is just evidence. Unless you can actually say, like, okay, because of this and that reason. Which is like fuel for your brain, I would say. Like, here you are, here you got this coincidence, or here you got this metrics, and now feel happy about it because you now know what it is like, or you seem to know what it is like. The worst sin towards... Have I read the other one? No, I haven't. Where am I? What am I doing? Naive realism, the intuitive sense that we see the world out there as it actually is rather than as it appears from our own perspective. Yes, we have a perspective. You can see the bad. I can look outside there and say, okay, it is a little tiny bit windy. So I could assume that it is gonna rain very, very soon. But I could also be like, okay, the sky is fucking blue. Everything looks pretty nice. So it's probably gonna be nice in 3 hours as well. I could. Many possibilities. If the illusion you hold about your own brain lead you to believe that you see the world as it actually, and you find out I see it different. Well, wait. If the illusion you hold about your own brain lead you to believe that you see the world as it actually is, and you find that others see the world differently, then they must be the ones who are biased, distorted, uninformed, ignorant, unreasonable, or evil. Yes, because it's probably not us, right? We are never the problem. It's always the other people. We are never the problem. The worst sin towards our fellow creatures is not to hate them, but to be indifferent to them. Europeans, since the time of the ancient Greeks, viewed those living in relatively primitive cultures as lacking a mind in one of two ways, either lacking self-control and emotions like an animal, or lacking reason and intellect like a child. Those living in relatively primitive cultures. Do I think in the same way, since it is about Europeans? Of course, like it is a generalization, which is, yes, maybe also a biased thing. Am I doing that? I might indeed, even though, I do think that not a lot of people are going to say that. I think, okay, those people that are so primitive, they're fucking animals, and also, on the other hand, they could also just be really fucking dumb. I don't, I don't really believe that people are going to say that. I really don't. It can be easy to forget that other people have minds with the same general capacities and experiences as your own, even though, like, capacity, I am not sure. In general, yeah, maybe. Practically, not really, since there is smarter people than you are, and there is quote-unquote dumber people than you are, and various different things. Where am I? Distance keeps your sixth sense disengaged. Sixth, by the way, sense. Yes. Your ability to understand the minds of others can be triggered by your physical senses. Indeed. Sit up straight and you feel more proud of your accomplishments. I mean, it is something that Harvard also showed, that how your body language is and how you sit or you stand. Like there's certain, I think they're called power poses, if I'm not quite sure or I'm not quite wrong. One of them, for example, since I'm actually having my phone in my hands, I can also show that. If you have your hands on your hips, if this makes sense, and you really stand in a broad way with your feet apart and all that shit, then you supposedly are gonna feel better about yourself, and you're gonna feel more confident about yourself, quite, which I kind of also believe in, but I don't know where it is coming from. I know it might be because, okay, you look huger, you don't look like, okay, like animals are doing it, if you're huge, then you seem stronger and more confident and all these other things. If you are all these things or not, doesn't matter that well. Let's see. Furrowing your brow as if you're thinking harder can lead you to actually think harder, which I think is true, but I don't know why. And I know that studies would be nice to have that, but if you're like this, then I'm only gonna just I'm from this point on, I'm only gonna just talk in this way, because then I'm just smarter. Botox dulls your social senses right along with your wrinkles. Your social senses. Because you don't know how you look? I don't know. It might be a chemical process. I don't know. It could be the case. I cannot tell. Medial prefrontal cortex, which is the MPFC, is involved in making inferences about the minds of others. MPFC is engaged more when you are thinking about yourself, your close friends and family, and others who have beliefs similar to your own. It is activated when you care enough about others to care what they think, and not when you're indifferent to others. Yeah, indeed. Yes. So it's actually a good thing, isn't it? Quite, as I'm seeing it. A universal tendency to assume that others' minds are less sophisticated and more superficial than one's own is a common thought, maybe, I guess. Ubuntu, which by the way is an operating system if you don't know that, but it is. A person is a person through other persons. What the fuck? What do you want to tell me? A person is a person through other persons. Your humanity comes from the way you treat others. The idea goes, not the way you behave in isolation. Your humanity comes from the way you treat others. The idea goes, not the way you believe in isolation. So the idea goes, not the way you believe in isolation. Or do you read it like that? But I do believe that, oh my god, I just felt like I torched my head apart. Do you hear that? It's my neck. Probably gonna cut that out anyway, but yeah, anyway. You can recognize intrinsic motivations more easily in yourself than in others. Yes, indeed. Really, really indeed. Treat workers with respect, encourage them to think independently, and allow them to make decisions and make them feel connected to an important effort. Yes, indeed, because we want to have control. We always want to have control. It is always a nice thing if people have a decision. It's always nice. Always give people a decision. I think, and I've also had to think about it in just in work senses. I mean, if I'm just doing a design for somebody, I could be like, okay, this is my design, this is my hot take. Either you take it or you're not going to take any one of those, or you're taking nothing. But I could also be like, okay, I'm going to make 3. It doesn't necessarily also have to be the case that these are the 3 that I really think are good, but just to have multiple things, to just let them have the decision to make. Quite. On the other hand, it is also just a good thing for you because you don't have to make the decision then. You just make some things. Because, I mean, this is something that happens to me quite often. Of course, if I do something, then I like this and I like that. Of course. But the end decision is like, okay, should I really take this? Should I really take that? And if then another person is like, okay, I just like this one and I don't like the other ones, then I'm really fine with it. Because I don't have to make the decision unless it is really the one that I do not like. But then you also have to just step out of that bias and be like, well, let's just take it. Let's just take it. I stopped staring blankly and instead looked one of the boys directly in the eyes, smiled and waved. It was like I flipped a switch in him. I suddenly wasn't just a foreigner, I was a human being. He flew into a wide-eyed smile and a big wave. Yeah. Yes, do that. But also, which is something that I've learned very recently, if you're smiling at somebody, you can't be a person that is smiling all the fucking time. I am just, for example, such a person. The thing is, if you see somebody and you really want to make them feel special, then you're not gonna smile before you see them. But once you see them and once they see you, you're gonna smile like a fucking dumbass. You're gonna have the biggest fucking smile on your head compared to whatnot. And they're gonna feel like this person or he, in my way or in my situation right now, he's really happy to see me. It's not about somebody else, but it is about me. Because before he wasn't smiling, but as he was seeing me, he was smiling. So, yeah, it makes sense. And I think it is a cool thing. And I'm always going to remember that. I'm just looking forward to using it as well. Really am. Engage the minds of others more routinely instead of treating nearby neighbors as mindless objects. Well, I think it is also something that we tend to do, isn't it? Attributing a mind to a non-human agent is the inverse process of failing to attribute a mind to another person. Too fast or too slow, and the robot in these experiments was recognized as a mindless machine. But at just the right speed, closer to human speed, the robot seemed more mindful. It started to look like it might be thinking or planning or feeling something. The concept of a mind can explain the behavior of almost anything. The concept of a mind. Yes, quite. I think if you just really understand somebody's mind and how somebody just makes decisions and all those things, then you can really indeed make sense of all the behavior or forms of behavior or whatnot. Religious beliefs are intuitively compelling because minds are intuitive explanations for the behavior of almost anything. Yeah. Urban children are more likely to anthropomorphize animals such as cows and pigs and deer than rural children. Why? Because rural children are likely to have considerably more knowledge about these animals, knowledge acquired through direct experience. As I think just direct experience also just in terms of empathy and all these things, like I guess it is important. I guess it is also a huge advantage over people that are not having this experience. A man on one side of a river shouts to a man standing on the other side, "Hey, how do I get to the other side of the river?" The other man responds, "You are on the other side of the river." This is an amazing one. This is really a good one. I don't know what is gonna just well, sure. I think it really is a good one. It's really an interesting thing. By the way, I have to just check if everything is all right there. Yeah, it seems to be all right. Just a little bit anxious that my battery is gonna go like bye, choo. I just have to mark that or highlight that. My God. People are insanely self-conscious. People act like they are always being watched, even the house is a performance. Yes, indeed, but nobody gives a shit. And those people that really give a shit, who cares? All of the world may indeed be a stage, and it is easy to feel that we are at the center of it. And this is, by the way, what I've been referring to in the very beginning of the whole one, that we feel like that. We are in the center of the whole universe. I think children even more than adults think that, but no, we all think in that way. And if you think about the fact that we all think in that way, then you're gonna notice and recognize that actually various different things. You're gonna notice that talking to a person and really trying to understand him or her is a good tactic to be liked, because they think that everything is about them. And I guess fulfilling this need or fulfilling this sense, this biased view of the world can indeed make you happy, I guess. You know, okay, yes, indeed, everything is about me. And this is why so many people ask me how I'm doing or whatever. I guess it's just an assumption. I don't know. The social spotlight does not shine on us nearly as brightly as we think. Yes, indeed. The whole episode is just yes. I know, yes. Be who you are and say what you feel, because those who mind don't matter and those who matter don't mind. This is really a good one. This really is a good one. Becoming aware of your own perspective liberates you. Becoming aware of your own perspective liberates you from it. What does liberate you mean? In that sense, at least. Let go you from it. Be aware of your perspective. Save, rescue from it. Yes. The quote-unquote media are consistently accused of being biased, but never found to favor those making the accusations. Yes. Yes. People tend to exaggerate the extent to which others think, believe, and feel as they do. Yes, and this is what I thought about. Like, no. Exaggerate the extent. Is it exaggerate like the thing that I... Yes, I think so. This is also one of the reasons why I hate this saying that I'm gonna just say right now so much. Treat people as you want to be treated. No, doesn't make any fucking sense, because not all the people are just thinking as you are thinking. Some people want to have a hug, and a lot of fucking people do not want to have a hug of yours. Really don't. So don't. Just don't. Listen to the person. Listen to what he or she is saying, and try to make sense of it. The knowledge is a curse, because once you have it, you can't imagine what it is like to not to possess it. Yes, which can indeed be a fucked up thing, and something that I've seen while learning maths. Once I know the answer, then I'm biased. I cannot not unsee it. I cannot not see it. I can't unsee it, which can sometimes be a problem. You know, unless I forget about it, then I just see it with new eyes, kind of. And I think this is gonna be the last one, I assume. Ever tried to get driving directions from a local? Yes. Sometimes I get asked, and sometimes it is like, how the fuck should I explain that to you? Like, of course, I know how you should drive, but like, it once happened to me. It's been such a strange thing. It's such a strange, whatever. Because first of all, the car just went from the street just to the sidewalk, and I was just walking on the sidewalk, and then the window went down, and a woman just looked out of it and said, "Where is blah, blah, blah," in that way? And I asked, "Please, what? Excuse me? What did you say?" She said it once again, like, "Where is blah, blah, blah?" And I once again asked, "What do you mean? I don't understand you." And she said it once again in the exact same fucking way. "Where is blah, blah, blah?" And I thought, like, do you wanna do want to fuck with me. Quite. But because I really wanted to help, I asked I think I asked 10 times or something for what this person said. And I think finally she said it in a just such a slightly different way that I've been able to understand her. And she meant McFucking-Donald's. She wanted to get to the local McDonald's. And then I thought, well, motherfucker, it's a really long ass way. And then I said okay, you just drive there and whatnot. And they probably haven't found it, but there's no way that they're also going to remember that. Of course I could say right, left, left, right. And this is indeed the direction they should have taken. Right, left, left. But you could also go right, but we're going to go left, left, right. Then there's going to be a roundabout. Roundabout, you're going to take the... and I also have to think about it, I don't know. I just don't know. It's not okay, it's really easy. I also have to think about it in my mind and just picture the picture. But it could also be well, you could just take the second thing. You're not going to just take the first exit in a roundabout, but you're going to take the second one. Then you drive once again, then there's going to be a roundabout once again. Then you take the... I could have just said it in this way. I think I've probably just sent them to just whatnot. But the thing is, yeah, it's indeed strange. But of course, asking is a good way. Asking is a good thing to do. Anyway, I'm gonna end the episode there. Such a funny story, to be honest. And also such a strange story. If you're just speaking in a dialect, you're not gonna use it if you just talk to a fucking local, unless you really want to piss them off. Because of course my German accent or my German dialect, nobody in Germany, in the very upper part of Germany, nobody would be able to understand me if I just talk in my fucking dialect. Nobody. Wouldn't be possible. So I'm also just not gonna use it, I guess. Of course, maybe it's also about me. Maybe I've just not understood this person. Could be the case. But yeah, anyway, the question of today, by the way, is, just because it is loading once again, I'm willing to take this one once again. Can you say something to somebody that is going to make them really happy? Yeah, this is my take. And with that being said, I wish you the best health, of happiness, and also success, and also hope that you're going to remind yourself and you're going to be remembered. Which basically means your legacy basically means just being a nice person and being remembered as a nice person. But yeah, 3 other questions that I'm having for you are: why you're here, what are you trying to change, and what is bothering you the most? These 3 questions are going to show you your purpose and maybe even indeed a business idea, which would be the optimal thing. A pretty nice thing, a pretty cool thing. But yeah, I'm now going to learn maths probably quite right now. But yeah, gonna see you the next time. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. And then I'll see you. So bye bye. And thank you. Thank you once again. I really appreciate it. I just wonder how long it's gonna take till I can actually end the episode. I'm having 30 minutes already on my phone. Yeah. I'm gonna see you. Bye bye.